Hi, do you consider yourself a creative person? Do you think that you doing your work in a corporate job, your creativity is being wasted on them? Like this is going to be the era where creative people are going to be much in demand. So uh, here's what we're going to talk about today. Today we're going to talk about how the metaverse is going to change content marketing forever. What content marketing is and how you can make content marketing uh, transform content marketing with using design thinking. I'm Mohit. I'm an architect. I'm now in the digital space creator. I am an artist too. You can check out my art on Instagram. And in the past, couple of years, I've been being fascinated by marketing. Really, a lot of the things about marketing is we take it for granted. Really, like we already know the same cliches that yeah, marketing's they're just lying to you. They're just giving you false promises, and it's just about if there is somebody who has an agenda or somebody who's like talking to you in a fake way, and you find out later that he was just trying to sell you a product, and they'll be like, "Huh, that's just marketing." Like it's actually bad sales, but we call it marketing. So marketing is basically you spreading the word out that your product exists if you are a business person, and with the internet, something new has like you're starting to notice something very interesting about marketing, especially with media mostly. Like when the radio came out, when even before the radio, when the printing press came out, like people started like spreading ideas through the paper media, then the radio, then the television and stuff. So I got this idea about thinking about content marketing in a different way when I found out that uh, the He-Man cartoon, right? The cartoon, the old cartoon He-Man. You had He-Man, Man at Arms, Tila, like Atmos, the flying guy, Skeletor, those kind of characters. It was a cartoon, right? I had thought that the cartoons came first, and then the action figures, they came through because the kids wanted to buy it. But turns out the whole process of building He-Man, they built the toys first, and then the cartoons came out. And even further, like there's this anime called Cowboy Bebop, right? Like I'm sure someone if you are into the internet sphere, you would have heard of it. So even Cowboy Bebop, like it's a Japanese anime, like animation TV show, and even that was inspired, like in order to market like these toys, these Japanese toy company had made. They made a whole story around it. So this is a very interesting content marketing, opportunity really for like people who are more inclined to do things like this. Like usually the stereotype is of a starving artist, right? A starving artist, he's like down on his luck and he's like desperately trying to like make it big. But here's like the metaverse could change all of that. So I mean, what I would say is like if you think that things have like reached like a tipping point, you have no idea what the metaverse is going to bring, because you would have seen Ready Player One, the movie, and you would have seen like other stuff like The Matrix and all these virtual reality stuff, right? You need like some people, these certain designer people who would go and design the environments in the metaverse. So this what I would suspect is that in my own industry, which is architecture, it's gonna like start having a schism maybe between the construction industry, where you build buildings for utilitarian purposes, and the architecture industry as a such would be like dematerialized. All right, like it would go totally shift into the space of the virtual reality. And what would that mean? Like, would architecture be totally gone in the real world? That's not possible, because architecture needs to be in like the real world, right? So there would be some amount of architects who actually do something in the real world, but the majority of them, the 80% of them, I'd say that they would go to the virtual metaverse and they would start building the spaces of the future in the metaverse. And who knows, right? Like how you say that life imitates art, or art imitates life, when you like truth is stranger than fiction and whatnot. Like we'll start like borrowing things from the metaverse and making that in reality, instead of us copying from reality and bringing it to the virtual reality all the time. Because you'd see that in video games and in movies, like you'd see the Paris, the Eiffel Tower being replicated, or like the Great Wall of China, or all those wonders of the world being replicated in the virtual world. But now it's going to be the other way around. Like Nintendo opened its Nintendo Park, right? All the virtual world artifacts or the virtual world things are coming to the real world now. So it's like the reality and the virtual world, they're soon going to start blurring. You're going to wear like these, AR glasses, which are going to like fit with, AR capabilities, like augmented reality capabilities. And, marketing would, be totally different then. Like there was an example in this book, written by Peter Diamandis and Stephen Kotler, right? Where like the way it would move is that people, the artificial intelligence would recognize the kind of thing that you would be attracted to, and it would make its own tapestry of all the things you desire in order to market for you. So you know how scarily good the Instagram algorithm or the Google algorithm is becoming out of you working on it all the time. It's like people used to think that, oh, the devices are listening to us. There's somebody who's actually listening to it, writing it down, and then sharing it with you. But that's not the case. The case is that the AI is learning so well about you. It's able to find those hidden patterns, and it's able to like push that a certain button. So where do like the designers and the artists come here? Like, wouldn't all these be done by machines? Yes, like most of this would be done by machines. Yes, like the machines of the future will have the capabilities to convert information, data into knowledge. So knowledge would be something that you would use suddenly. Like data would be like an average human being can, like, I don't know, hold his breath for like 3 to 6 minutes. And information is like how a person can increase his breathing capacity underwater. Like that's information. Data is something which is off the court, right? Like it is in the stands, but information is on the court. It'll give you like information which is going to be relevant to you. So people and artists who are engaging in the metaverse, they will be like given a lot of information now. Um, uh, like even in the present moment, the internet is filled with information, but not relevant knowledge. So when you have people with relevant knowledge, armed with relevant knowledge, they're gonna like knock it off the park with the things they produce. It's like before, if you wanted to build a house, like you needed the bricks, and they would like take the clay from the site, build the bricks themselves. Then they the first process was start have some bricks. But now you don't need to do that. You can just buy some bricks and okay, and for ingredients of making a hamburger, like there was an economist who tried to like make a hamburger from scratch, and by scratch I mean like he grew his own wheat, he grew his own lettuce and his own tomatoes. It took him a long time to do it. So just like how globalization helped all these mega corporations, soon you're going to have artificial intelligence helping you to come up with like innovative stuff, like knowledge work being automated to the machines. It is dubious to say like how fast the machine will reach a point that it'll come up with a consciousness, right? Like it's going to be like a human being, and it's going to start creating art and stuff. Like we're not going to go there. We're not going to have that argument. Just going to point out that Ray Kurzweil, the guy who wrote The Singularity is Near, has a bet that you will see the first artificial general intelligence, which is like be like a human being by the year 2030. And considering that we have 8 more years, I'm like, it's safe to assume there's still 8 years for that to happen. Yeah. So what can you do about it? What can like a normal guy who's like who is creative, like when I mean creative is open to new experiences. That's like the definition of a creative person. Like they are open to new things. They won't brush off like some ideas just because they don't get it. Like they would be more exploratory or curious. Like in the biography of Leonardo da Vinci by Walter Isaacson, you would see that Leonardo da Vinci is like the token creative guy, the Renaissance man. He is somebody who just won't stop like observing nature and drawing it down. Like he everything for him is fascinating. Like So I read somewhere that a dog finds everything smells great for it. Like it will go on smelling everything, like, because it smells great. Even for a open to a new experiences person, like it's like a puppy. Like, he needs to know what everything smells like. So like Leonardo would see everything and he would want to put it on paper. So that's what an open to new experiences person is, and they are mostly considered distracted in school and daydreamers in school and whatnot. So it would help a creative open to new experiences person to also be less in conscientiousness, like in less in orderliness, but maybe high in industriousness. Because if you are somebody who's highly industrious, like your creative output would be so high. Like, so my own personality is like something of, I'm moderately high open to new experiences, like I'm moderately creative. However, my conscientiousness is low, and to boot I have like mildly high orderliness. So it's like a bit of a perfectionist streak which I'm not able to shake off. However, to like combat countermeasure this lack of conscientiousness, I made like an atomic habit, making sure that I post one content of my art like every day. So this is like something like you can do. Like if you got to combat like procrastination, right? Make it as easy as possible. Like one of the most simplest atomic habit thing. Um, Now, how what is lacking in the content marketing sphere right now? See, the internet, right? It's huge. It's like a huge thing. All right, like there's so much stuff you can explore, but most of the stuff is irrelevant to you and it's boring. Like it's uh, like trash basically. Like it's not relevant to you. Like, okay, Instagram would keep like pumping up content which might be relevant for you. YouTube might be pumping up content which might be relevant to you, but it's not. It's missing something. It's missing like a heart. Okay, it's like it's just for the sake of the likes it's coming. Like, we need content marketing out of an intention that it's transforming people's lives. Okay, like content marketing, you can just brush off content marketing and saying that, it's okay, it's just it's just for a means to an end. It's like a teleologically it means it has like an end in mind. But content marketing could be beyond that. It's not just about the product, it's about the marketing itself. The marketing becomes, the content becomes an end of itself. So how can it be like, consider those He-Man cartoons, right? When I was a kid, I used to watch He-Man cartoons, Thundercats, all those classic cartoons. They're called Saturday morning breakfast cartoons, all right? Like, you'd see them in Cartoon Network and stuff, and they I would be crazy about those things, and I would really want to buy those toys, right? But like those shows, they had like something that mesmerized the children, like, but they also taught them a lesson too. Like, there always used to be something that the story was about. So there's this book called Story Genius by Lisa Kron, right? And it talks about how like every story has like a message. Okay, like uh, consider okay, give me a story with a good message. Like, Lord of the Rings was all about being friendship and like working together, and not judging the other person if they are from a different community or a culture. And like Star Wars is about believing in yourself, and like that spirit of adventure and rebellion and all of that. Like, there is always like a core idea in every story. And Lisa Kron talks about that you got to start from there, and then it starts building. Like, if you make a story like how a postmodernist would do, like come up with like random things happening, you could do that. Like somebody, a very skilled postmodernist, he might make a very interesting movie by subverting all expectations, like how Ryan Johnson did with Knives Out. Like that, it could really work. But you need to start from the basics. Like, you need to start with like, okay, like these would be the steps, right? Like, first you need to like see what inspired you to actually create that. All right, and from there you got to say what the point you're trying to make is. So with this video, what the point I'm trying to make is, it's all about empowerment. Like, I want you to be empowered. See yourself as a master of this universe. I mean, or whatever it is you want to call. Like, too much He-Man references today. But like, master of the universe, and that you go out and speak your voice out, because you have the power of the internet. The internet is like the force now. So and from there you build up like a series of gauntlets, or like a series of boxes for you to keep ticking, like levels. Like there's this one episode in Rick and Morty where the story circle has been given physical form with the story train. The story train, each compartment has its own thing, like a call to adventure and a refusal of the call and stuff like that. And since Dan Harmon, the writer of this Rick and Morty stuff, like he's like up in top of his game, so he knows exactly where he can bend the rules. So in the Matrix, right, like in the movie, the Neo is like, first you got to learn the rules, and then once you know the rules, when you can see the Matrix, they can be bent. So it's like one of those there was this one line in this movie called Devil's Advocate, which is also Keanu Reeves, right? So Keanu Reeves asks his boss, which is played by Al Pacino, like, you want me to, like, bend the law? Like, yes, you want me to bend in such a way that, but that it will help us, but not to break it. So like it takes a lot of skill to be able to bend the laws of art, like and you got to get there. Like, it's going to take some work, but start from the bottom and go all the way to the top. There's a lot of potential for people like us, because right now I'd say that 2 to 3 billion people in the world are connected to the internet. We are going to see that 7 billion people are going to be connected, like a whole world will be connected in the internet within the end of this decade, which is inevitable. And do you think that they would look at the internet right now? Look at the state of the internet right now. There are things that you're not able to find, like which you're looking for, and you find it after long searching that you find it. The internet is already filled with stuff, and but it's lacking. Like, it's possible that there are some things that are so unique to you, the niche stuff, that the algorithm is just going to get better at finding that, spotting that thing. So take my video, for instance. Like, it may not work with the people in my locality, but there is somewhere out in the other side of the world who needs this exactly what I'm posting. So look at me, like I'm in a back of a green screen, and I'm talking about content marketing and design thinking. And this guy is into content marketing, this guy is into design thinking. In fact, he's creating his own video, and he wants to, like, probably, like, take this video, like, there's a green screen, he can put my avatar into his video. And that's the unique opportunity. Like, the internet will the artificial intelligence will find these patterns and connect us. So what I want you to do is start making good art. Like, make good art and start posting it online. If you want to make videos, go for it. Start making YouTube videos, and start making Instagram posts. Start making writing essays on Medium.com. Like, the more data you put out there, you are in fact, like, helping not just yourself, not just other people. You're also helping the artificial intelligence grow and become better. And some might be cynical and resign and say, hey, like, this thing is gonna, like, probably gonna hurt us, right? Like, because the intentions of the people who control the artificial intelligence may not be as benevolent as we think. Regardless, take a leap of faith here and consider that GPT-3, the AI software, was built by OpenAI. It learned from coming to the internet, and see, there's a lot of trash in the internet too, and it learns from that too. So just give it a benefit of a doubt, benefit of a doubt, and bring your own, like, own creativity, your own personal individual expression out there into the internet, and apply design thinking into it, so that it can even, like, cater to the people who are watching it. So design thinking is basically three things: the concept, case studies, prototype. What's your concept? Like, let's just say I was super inspired by The Matrix. Okay, the first movie was phenomenal. I keep watching it again and again. I'm like, oh man, if they just couldn't fix the second and third movie. So that's what, like, that's a small concept. Like, what if I could, like, make a comic book, probably a small web comic on Instagram about the Matrix trilogy. Like, okay, let's just ignore the Matrix 2 and Matrix 3. There's some great moments, great ideas in Matrix 2 and 3, but I want to, like, incorporate it. So you need case studies now. The case studies would be where you would go out there and see what are the similar movies like The Matrix, what are similar stories in The Matrix, and find it in other places. So, like, take Inception. Inception is another movie like The Matrix, or consider this video game called Persona 5. Like, even that has some elements from The Matrix, and you those would be your case studies, and you'd study those case studies, and you come up with a prototype for, like, a your own version of the Matrix, like, considering it's in copyrighted by Warner Brothers, like you can come up with your own name. Like you can call it, like, I don't know, with some other math concept, like the algebra or singularity or whatever. So you name it that, and you start making your own story and start building it up. And that's the thing. Like the more stuff that you put out, the more it's a case study for other persons. So it's gonna be like a huge booming of content and stories and art. So what I would like, people say that there's everything already on the internet. I'd say that there is not enough. That there are some still missing places. In fact, there's not a niche. There's a huge empty ocean out there. And like people who sing that, oh, like people, like everybody already has that idea. No, that's not the point. It's like there is a huge ocean of, like, missed opportunities out there, which is just a matter of time of you tapping into it. So okay, I hope this helps you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye.